Okay, we're ready to move on with the build, and we're going to start with issue 105. Now, if you guys are wondering, we came in shipment number 19. Then I did a complete unboxing video like I've done for every shipment up till this point. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the build, and we're actually going to be working on the base. So you can see where we're going to start. So let's go ahead and we'll get the first issue. This is issue 105. We got a couple of packets of screws. We've got the housing for the speaker. So let's get everything out of the packaging. We've got the plate for the battery. We've got more screws. And I think these are going to be, this is the speaker itself. There we are. So that's everything. That was in issue number 105. So let's get right to the build. Okay, so we're going to take the speaker and the holder, and we're going to fit the speaker into the holder so the cables run through the recessed area. So that would be this. So the speaker is going to come through just like that. Fit the speaker assembly into the battery box so that the holes in the holder align with the raised screw sockets in the box. Note that the cables should run out of the holder onto the side next to the circuit board. So that's what we're going to do next. We have the battery box, and this is from the last build with the base. Let me actually move the base. We'll use that a little bit later. Okay, so we're going to need to have it just like the picture with the wires that will be coming out, where we're going to be able to actually connect it to the circuit board. So we're going to put it just like this. So I'm going to fit the speaker on, and then we're going to put the housing over it. Alright, that's going to be held in place with the BP screws now. So, which one of the BP? Here they are. Again, I want to snug it up, but not too tight because we don't want to strip the plastic. Plus, it's not like this is going to go anywhere. There. So that looks pretty good. Alright, what are we going to do now? So now we got to connect the cable running from the battery housing to the socket A of the circuit board. Connect the speaker cable. So we got to go to socket A. You can see that's socket A right there. So this is going to be the power, and it's going to show how we're going to wire it. So you can see the speaker cable is going to go to socket B, and the power pack is going to go to socket A. So we've got socket A. Here we are. There's not a lot of room, and there's hardly any slack in this. So I'll have to make sure that this works, that it's in enough. Okay, now we're going to take the speaker cable, and there's just as little slack in this, and this is going to go over to socket B. Just like that. All right, we're going to take battery box now. And fit the battery box into the base of the stand and place the battery box upside down in the stand as shown in the photo. Then connect the two cables C and D to the sockets. So you can see we have D over here and we've got C. So let's start with C. Here we are. Let me bring it up for you guys to see. So it looks like we have everything hooked up now. And what this is going to do is get the little feet that are going to rest in the little openings. And that's where we're going to be using the screws, 105C. Make sure that you do not pull any of the sockets out of the circuit board. Turn the battery box the right way up and stand and put the screws, turn upside down so you can fix the screws. So that would be 105. Let me show you guys what the actual plate's going to look like. You can see R.M.S. Titanic, and this is like brass. All right, take the double-sided adhesive and remove the protective backing from one side and put the tape to the back of the nameplate. So we got the nameplate, and what we're going to do is we're going to take one side off of this, and this is the protective adhesive, and this is double-sided, so let me see if I can get this started. There we are. Alright. It's tough to see. Okay, so we're going to put this onto the back of the nameplate. Just like that. And this is going to be affixed into position on the stand. So let's I'm going to need my tweezers for this. There we are. And make sure it's the right way. So let's put it upside down so it'll be a little bit easier to put on. So what we're going to do is center it. There we are. You figure for the amount of money that this cost, that this would be just a little more elaborate or respectful. I don't know. There's always time. Maybe we'll replace this at some point with a better plaque. I'm sure there are aftermarket ones where we can do a little more, something a little more fancy. I mean, this does the trick, but it could have been a little more elaborate considering it is Titanic, right? Okay, so that's on. That looks good. Let's get rid of these. And I think what we got to do now is we have to affix it to the base. Okay, so the idea is to take the plate, and it's got 3 little feet that rest into the openings or the holes, and that's going to go right in front of the power pack, just like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to put those 3 screws in. Just like this. There, and that's the completed work for this stage. So we have the base. Looks like we'll have to figure something out to keep the wires. They don't really come out, but they show. The weight of the model, I don't want the wires to get trapped underneath. You can see we have the nameplate. We get the power supply. And we have the back. You can see it's right now it's in the battery position, so let's put it off. So now it's off. You can see we can put it in a USB cable. So we'll just put it off for now. And I think this is the completion of the base. So now we're ready to move on to issue number 107, and that's going to be more at the ship. So we got to switch tables. Because the ship is getting so large, we need the work table. So the instructions are pretty straightforward. We just put this into the back side, and we're going to put it on this side of the ship. So I have her on a towel because she is getting pretty large. All right. Make sure you guys can see this. So it's going to go just like that, and it's going to go into position, and we're going to hold this in place with the LM screw. Alright, so let's kind of snug it up just a little bit, not to the point where it's stripped, but just like that. There. So look at that. The rear is really starting to come together. To the next one, which is 108. And pretty much the same thing, except now we're going to do the section below the water line. So I'll get this out. There's going to be more screws in this section. And what we're going to do with these is this is going to go in just like the bottom one, or excuse me, in this instance, the top one. And you can see where they're going to have all these interlocking pieces. So it's going to go like this. So it fits together a little different than these, the side panels, because you kind of had to interlock them. These just kind of go right into place. They fall into place a lot easier. All right, and this has 4 LM screws. There's no interference. There we are. So that's nice and solid, and check that out. Look how beautiful she's starting to come along. Now we can actually see where the propellers are going to come out, and this is where the rudder is going to go. The screw covers that we're going to put over the screw holes at the front of the ship. But we're not going to put this one on the ship. We're actually going to put the two together before they go on. So take the 4 panels, now that they are numbered. Panels should be fitted, the indented circles and labeled above. So we're going to go to the front of the ship now. So we need 4, and that's what we got, 4. So hopefully you can see how they're going to go on, and they're going to be made to go into the little pegs fit into the holes. and it's made to actually follow the straking. So when they're all in position, this is what you should see. So the screw hole covers are covered, so we don't see the screws. We got the one near the bull nose, and we got the two on the bottom. So that looks good. So what is, for the remaining 3 panels, this is the same way, the pegs are slightly different. Okay, so that's all set. You can see how these sections are going to go together. See the curvature, and it's going to go just like this. And these are going to be held in place with R.M.S screws. So you know what, let's use these up first. There we are. Beautiful. Okay, so this is going to go onto the starboard side, and looks like we're going to have 2 screws that are going to be holding it in on that side. So let's get a couple of the R.M.S screws. There we are. All right, it looks like now we got to put the screws in, and we're going to bring the back halves together. Looks like they're going to go like that. We're going to snug it up really nice, because remember, this is metal on metal. The screws are going into metal, so we want to make sure this is nice and snug. Look at that. All right, now we're going to put the screw covers on. All right, so on the bottom one, we got one peg that's larger than the other. So these are all in place. So let me show you guys. Look at that. It's starting to look beautiful. So I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you guys the back of the ship. So you can see we actually closed in the back of the hull. Beautiful. We put the sections in. There's just that section now that's going to go out, and it's going to curve for the lovely poop deck area. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the build. And the hull is closed in now on both ends, so I love it. And you can see how big she is. So my friends, until shipment number 20, which I really look forward to, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.